about why these other European countries are banding together and Americans are still sitting back on their asses. Right, I'm not getting a notification that you're back on.
I am. I've been up for 27, 28, 29 seconds. Rosie's back, of course. Of course, of course. It's not streaming issues, it's cellular issues.
Okay, sorry, I'll retract that.
You don't have to retract it. We just corrected it via video. Not a big deal.
Yes, let's hope so. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be the case. It's going to be spotty, at least until we get up closer to Jefferson City. I had to run all the way back down to the other side of the state to grab where I left my trailer at, pick up my trailer, and then head right back up to where we were in order to pick up my load. So the cell signal out here, as you can tell, it's lots of cool hills and it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
So it comes and goes. And man, I would love to live out in this right here.
This?
I might hate the humidity, but over time I would get used to it.
I'm not seeing anything in this area that I would love yet.
Look, out to the left. What do you got? You got miles of that.
Trees
Right,
and fields.
right. I can make a decent sized farm or ranch, and I can go hunting on my own property with nobody messing with me in a state that is one of the most conservative states in the country.
So would you rather live in an environment like that, or like like near the mountains with woodlands and wide open meadows, that type of
Anytime you get near any of them mountains that you're talking about, you're in a liberal state where you don't have rights. You have what the liberals dictate to you. This state is a very constitutional state, which is why it's on it's on the list of one of the states I want to move to here soon.
Oh.
Any state that has laws on the books that go against the Constitution in any way, shape, or form is not anywhere I want to live.
Well, you probably need to get the hell out of where you're living now.
Yeah. So how do y'all feel about laboratory grown meat? Laboratory grown meat, how do y'all feel about that? Because the FDA and the USDA both snuck it through this weekend in the dark, quietly, and they approved production, distribution, and sale of laboratory created meat. And do yourself a favor, go on to YouTube and look up laboratory created meat. Watch all the different videos.
So I just missed a phone call from the hospital where my mom's at.
You better make that call. Maybe they're still leaving one. You won't receive a notification for it until they're done, if they are.
I need to plug my phone in. Please. Something. Yes, folks, my mom is still in the hospital.
Yeah, it's extremely sick. And here's the thing, they think that we're not going to end up slaughtering any animals. We won't need as many animals in the whole nine just by switching to laboratory grown meat. Here's the problem with that. They get the serum to make laboratory grown meat from the fetuses of baby calves that have not been born yet. So guess what? Now, instead of having large herds of cattle that go to slaughter, we're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands corralled up, not allowed to move, and being forced to remain pregnant all the time, just so that they can use the fetuses to make laboratory grown meat. Why in the world would anybody think that that's a
Yes, hello, my name is Rose Anderson. I just received a phone call from somebody at the hospital from this number. I wasn't able to please return my call. I would appreciate it. This is regarding Jennifer Anderson, patient at the hospital.
that started talking about making laboratory grown meat. Can anybody remember who that was? I'll give you a hint. He started in computers. It's another reason why I would love to live in an area like this with some land, because of the fact that I would get myself a whole bunch of different livestock solely to supply myself, friends, family, and neighbors with real food. That's right, Kaylin. Bill Gates. Here's the other thing. When they start controlling the proteins, chemical proteins, and the other things that they're pumping into that meat, when they start controlling that, they start controlling whether you live or not. They start controlling how your body reacts to things. They start controlling every aspect of your medical problems that can come down the road. In other words, they can turn around and kill off an entire generation just through the meat. Yep. Everybody gets it. Bill Gates is the one that's doing it. He came up with the idea and he pushed it, and now there's hundreds of young, like 20-somethings coming up with these startups producing the stuff. And they're so blind to what they're doing they're so blind to everything it's going to take to do it for one.
Mobo joined the chat. Good morning, Mobo.
Good morning, Mobo. Mr. and Mrs. Mobo. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the gift you gave me. I know I had a hard time saying it. One you this weekend. Signal's gone. Oh, it's back. I have Rose sitting right next. Guys can don't have a signal. We'll see if it sets itself. It must still be there because Rosie's little comment just came in.
Yes, and your comment just came through in my earbud.
Okay. Yeah, no, Rosie Rowe decided she wanted to go for a short ride this morning since I was going all the way down to one end of the state to grab my
54, then take the first right.
We got 100 kilobytes a second. It's probably going to drop any minute. We'll see.
You're back.
But this morning before she heads back off to it's always good to show your friends a good time when you're around, when you have them around, right?
Mobo 155 says 10-4 driver.
Yeah, Mobo, I just want you to know I spent most of the night still semi-shocked from that gift, okay? And like I said, it's very much appreciated.
Exit on the right. US 54,
And again, I'll tell you, you didn't. But there's, you know, it's hard to keep the tears from coming to my face right now. So I do thank you very much.
Turn right at the traffic light.
You keep cutting out, so we never got to hear what the gift was.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not telling anybody what the gift is. I'm keeping that to myself. I'm keeping what the gift is to myself. You all have your own ideas of what a gift should be or can be, or any kind of gift that you might want to give to someone like me. And that's your choice. If Mobo wants to say what he gave, then that's Mobo's choice.
Continue on US 54.
I think a lot of you don't know. I shelled out probably a little over $2,600 out of my own pocket to get to Jefferson City, Missouri this weekend. And that's just getting me across the country. Okay. I got into Missouri. Was dropping my trailer. I lost the starter. I was down to the last little money I had left. because the fuel took all of it. And I was stuck down on the southwestern end of Missouri with a dead starter, and so I ended up spending another $500 on a new starter. And during the time that we were working on it, humid out, I had my dog outside because the truck's not running because there's no air conditioning, and he's out underneath the truck in the shade with a big bowl of water, and I don't know why he wasn't drinking, but he wasn't, and he ended up having a heat stroke, which is why you didn't see me live stream anything on Saturday, because I spent a lot of my time taking care of and worrying about my dog. Poor little Sid, you know. But Sid is fine. He's back to normal. So you don't have to worry. I was also going to have to take him to a left. And, you know, there's the reason I was willing to spend so much on fuel to get here is because I firmly believe in what we are doing. Right down to the core of my soul, I believe in what we are doing. And I am willing to make those sacrifices.
We all have to band together.
Right. We all have to band together, and we all have to show everybody from state to state that we can all come together. We don't even have to be in our own state to take part in an event of any kind, whether it's a rally or a protest at the Capitol, or, you know, I'd like to start seeing protests around all of the you know, TV, radio, broadcasting stations all across the country, and the newspaper stations. I'd like to start seeing protests around all of them. So
I would like to start seeing Americans band together and begin protesting like they are in the majority of the European countries and other countries around the world. That's what I would like to see American patriots doing. Or
David,
Americans in general. We don't even have to be patriotic.
David B., were you there at Jefferson? I was wondering if you were there or if you just saw the live streams.
Wasn't David the truck driver from Oklahoma?
He might be. I don't think so. See, the problem with it is that there's a million people named David.
Right.
So, if David was there, that's awesome. If he was watching the live streams, that's still just as awesome.
Right.
But I'd like to know if I'd actually had a chance to meet him in person and didn't remember it. That's right, Mobo. The battle for freedom never ends. Because just when you think you got something fixed, somebody else comes up with another harebrained idea and starts pushing it. .1776 RM Florida State page is up on Facebook now. Local support for the DC movement. Nice.
Welcome, Susie, to the Wolf Club chat. Black Wolf's chat. Wolf Club.
And all the each of these movements has division inside them too. But the biggest problem are the people that have not woke up yet. The people that still believe every little spoon-fed piece of garbage that comes out of media and that's coming out of our government. Those people are not going to wake up anytime soon. You take a look at history. Every time America, as the sleeping giant, has been awakened to the point that the entire country moved to do something. Take a look at World War I, look at World War II, especially World War II, and then you take a look at 9/11. It not only was America the last to join the fight, and you can see that even right now, because almost every country in the world right now, the people are fighting for their freedom and they're fighting for what's right. The governments are stealing everything from the people. They're stealing farmland, they're stealing crops, they're stealing everything. Look at Denmark. The people there are on ration cards already. And Denmark has already stolen and shut down almost all the... And they're trying to do that here too. But everywhere in the world right now is already up in arms protesting, and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people slammed together all together to protest. Yet America is still so far behind. World War II, we were the last to join the fight. And the reason is because we got attacked at Pearl Harbor. We got hit on our own turf. And it hurt everybody in this country. The same thing, in a way, happened on 9/11. They hit our towers, they killed a lot of people, and they crushed the heart of almost every American citizen in one morning. So we moved as a one people.
But if you look at Americans right after 9/11, that is how Americans came together and unified, all in support of the victims.
Right.
Of 9/11.
9/11.
And what happened. Look at all the people that came from all across the country and went down to ground zero to help with the devastation. That's unifying as a country and people coming together, bringing Americans together and showing patriotism. Why can't we do that now?
I can tell you why we can't do that now, because our media is blocking everything from everybody. The media is lying to everybody, and those people are still believing what they're being told. And they're not willing to listen to anything that didn't come out of that idiot box. Now, 9/11 hit, and it moved the country so badly that they jumped up all in unison and said, yes, we're going to war.
Right.
Well, we're not technically in a physical war.
But we're still
We're not in a point where we're shooting at each other. We're not in a point where we need some kind of military action. So what is it going to take to wake those people up? Well, you're seeing it happen. The freight rates in this country are going so low that most of us are going to end up having to park our trucks because of how high the fuel costs are. Now, with that coupled into the fact that they are restricting, they're restricting our food production worldwide, and they're starting to do it here in this country too. All of those, everything, and our economy. You look at the stock market is getting so close to crashing. And it's going to, by the way. Don't make no mistake. It will crash. Because it cannot hold up to the amount of inflation that... Especially with all that stimulus that went out to big companies that didn't need it in the first place. And especially with all of the money that we are hemorrhaging as a country into other countries. We have no business sending money in any way, shape, or form, or aid in any way, shape, or form to any other country when we can't even help ourselves. Our economy is so far in the tank right now, we have no business helping outside this country with anything. None. And yet we're sending billions of dollars to other countries right now that we don't have. We're writing checks on a negative account. So we're coming into a major crash, we're coming into major food shortages, and we're coming into a major economic crash when all the trucks have to stop. And that is going to hurt everybody's pocketbook, and that is going to hurt everybody when it comes to their dietary needs. People will start starving, and that is when those people will start waking up, and that is why I am afraid of it. Because I know that that is what it is going to take to wake them up. Because these people are so blind. Biden comes out and blames for the raising fuel cost 1 week. Then the next week, he's blaming the war in Ukraine as to why our fuel price, all of our fuel prices were going up long before any of that. Our fuel prices were going straight down for quite a while, and they were still going down until Biden's first day in office, when he signed the executive orders to shut off every single one of our natural resources from us being able to use them at all. He shut down the pipelines, he shut down all of the oil drilling and refining and production on any federal lands, which guess what? That's where all the oil is in the first place. So instead of using our own, we now have to buy it from other countries who the majority of the distribution is coming out of China and out of Russia. So who was it that was in the Chinese and Russian pockets? It wasn't Trump, like they said it was. And I guarantee you, even now, if somebody questions them on it, oh no, that's going on because Trump did that. That was all Trump's fault. No, none of the stuff that's going on right now was Trump. None. Every bit of it was orchestrated and put into effect by everybody on the left, including the Biden administration and Biden himself. And all those other forces, the lobbyists and the outside the outside interests that come from other countries. People are going to wake up and they're starving. Pendleton.
Every place in Pendleton is hired 60, 70, and 80-year-olds, and most of us can't.
Pendleton. Pendleton where? Oh, you mean, Pendleton, Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, no. These places are hiring and nobody wants those jobs. The biggest reason nobody wants those jobs is because the people that would take those jobs, that do have the experience, got so happy on their stimulus checks and being able to sit at home instead. They were paid for what they were doing in the first place. Job. Nobody wants to go back into those jobs simply because of the way they were treated and the way they were paid. We got a phone call. We'll be back. We're still going to be on, but I'm going to mute you. phone call's over. We're good.
Mom's going home today.
Your mom's going home today?
Yes.
All right. Did they say anything about her condition?
24/7 supervision and home health care.
24/7 supervision and home health care.
Yes.
Well, I know when getting home health care was a pain in the butt. Thing in place, and then it took another just to get companies.
So that means when I get home,
You got a lot of work to do.
my focus is my mother 150%.
Yep. So that means this is most likely the last time that anybody in the movement is actually going to see you out in an event, unless your mom can go with you.
For a while, yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be grueling.
I'm sorry, but your mom is more important,
Yes, she is.
because especially our elderly family.
Cancer. My brother and I took care of him at home around the clock, 24/7. That's the sacrifice that we going to be no different.
Right?
She raised us. She was there for us. So now it's our responsibility to care for her. And I knew this day was coming. I just didn't know when. Sooner than I wanted it to. But I'll step up and do what I have to do. That's who I am. It's my mom.
I think Mobo just called you a caregiver.
I've been a caregiver for 15 years. I work with adults with disabilities in their homes and in the community. I've worked with the elderly in nursing facilities. I've worked with the elderly in home health situations. That's who I am. I care about people. And I sacrifice my own needs. And this movement was the first time in 15 years that I've taken time to have my life back again. And I'm glad I've been a part of it. But if I have to step back from it again, because family's more important to me, then I'll do it. But it doesn't mean I stop fighting for freedom, because there's other ways that I can fight for freedom when I'm at home taking care of my mother. So I might have to step back, but I'm not out of the game. My dad taught me to be a fighter and not a quitter. It's very emotional for me. Because I love what I've been doing. I've loved the people I've been meeting. So, when one thing comes to an end, there's always a new beginning. I'm still a patriot at heart. And I'm still a freedom fighter at heart. But my mom means more to me than anything in the world. Sorry for breaking down.
Take the exit
It's
on the right.
perfectly understandable.
Business route, then take the first right.
I want everybody to put Rosie and her mom in your prayers.
And my brothers, because my one brother who's going to be a caregiver. He also has health issues. He's a vet. And he has severe health issues, and he hasn't been doing very well right now either. And then my other brother, and he's been diagnosed with schizoid affective disorder and PTSD from his wartime experiences, his experiences in the army. Me and my two brothers, my other brothers in California. So I don't just take care of my mom, I help my brothers as well. So the burden is on my shoulders primarily. But God is the one that gets me through every day.
To US 54 Business Road.
My strength comes from Him. It always has. So I got this. With support from my friends, I got it.
Turn right on Missouri 52, then take the first right.
Well, I hate to say it, but this is
The end of the road.
this is the end of the road for Rosie riding with me today. We are back to where we left her car. So she's going to be
Turn
getting
right
out
on
and
County
saying
Road
goodbye
280, then take the first right.
and heading back to Maryland.
Bittersweet. Bittersweet. I want to thank the people in the
Turn
chat
right on Acorn
for
Road.
understanding, being supportive. It's an emotional time for people.
That blue one on the end there, that's your car, right?
No, I parked in a corner.
Come on, that blue one on the end is your car,
500
right?
feet, arrive at Parking
Wink, wink,
Road.
nudge, nudge.
Oh, the Dodge Charger or Mustang or
That's-
whatever that is?
That's a Challenger.
Ah. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be my kind of car. I'd rather have a...
Oh, and that's the, oh my gosh, that's a Demon.
Did we lose everybody again or what?
No, they're still there, I think.
I'm sorry that you lost your brother, Kayleen. It's never easy to lose a loved one. Well, I want to thank you for letting me ride with you.
It was always a pleasure having you ride with me, even when we were convoying everywhere else. You know, everything that we've done. That's what true friends do when they come together. They stick out and they stick up for each other. They help each other in all kinds of ways. And just spending quality time with people that you know and care about in any way, shape, or form is always a good thing.
Yep.
That's why it was such a blessing yesterday. You know,
Meeting
everybody that I was already close with, for the most part, from the People's Convoy, most of them were there yesterday, and there were a lot of faces there that I had met for the first time, but I had been talking to through my live stream and through other people's live streams for months now, and that was a blessing. And then there were more people that I met that I had never dealt with before, and every single person that was there was a real beautiful, down-to-earth person, as everybody should be. It was a wonderful day. and it is going to be sad to say goodbye.
Yes, it is. Well, I'm glad that I made this trip. So I actually have a cousin that lives in O'Fallon. So on my way back home, I'm gonna try to stop off and visit with my cousin for a bit, and probably won't get home until sometime tomorrow. But I've already notified my family and let them know that.
So you are going to go see your cousin?
Well, now that I found out that my mom's being released, I don't know. I might just go straight home.
Okay.
They're gonna need me.
Well, do me a favor and only drive halfway there today and finish the other half tomorrow.
I'll do what my body permits and what my body and my spirit are telling me to do.
I know, but I would appreciate it if you wouldn't try to drive 1,000 miles overnight.
And what if I do? The Lord is with me.
I don't want to hear one of these Jesus take the wheel stories coming out of you tomorrow when you're sitting at home. I'm worried about your drive, okay? And I think everybody is.
Well, I appreciate that. I know you're concerned for me, and I know that you're probably thinking about when I get home, I'm going to be in 24/7 mode. So don't burn myself out before I get there is what you're telling me.
Right. Because the second you get home, it's going to be
Go,
go. Because your mom is going to need you from the moment you get home. You're not going to get any rest when you get home.
You're right.
Do not burn yourself out. All right, folks, we're going to take the time to get her unloaded. She's got a couple of things here in the truck that she needs to move to her car. She also needs to go get her car and move it over here so that we don't have to move it too far. But I'm going to leave the live stream up because I'm going to continue streaming after we both go our separate ways here. All right? Y'all have a good time, and Sid will take care of you.
Well, before you end it, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Wishing me well, wishing me safe travels. I'm sure Black Wölf will keep you updated because I will be in contact with him as I journey home. And I love you all. And Godspeed. Thank you so much for the support and the safe and well wishes. So, hasta la vista till next time. Keep on checking in with Black Wölf and getting in on his chat. Listening to his truth and his wisdom. Love to everybody. Big hugs and kisses. Mwah.
And hopefully we still see you in the chat on occasion.
On occasion, I'll try. Love you all. Big hugs and kisses. Rosie Rowe, Patriot, signing out.
Dixie Missy says we love you, Rosie Rowe.
I love you back. Mwah.
Mobo also said it earlier.
Love you all. Mwah. I hate to say goodbye, so it's going to be see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile.
connected if you pass that. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Where's they going? I don't know. Maybe they're just staying there. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, that's what I mean. They can stay right there.
Well, now we're all back.
Well, I'll take it 1,000 miles or so. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, well, unless something goes wrong, we'll be out there to see you. Yeah, what time we gotta be there? Thursday, ain't it? Yeah,
All right. Whoops. I gotta go change my GPS here, get it programmed in where I've got to go pick up. All right, we should be back. Considering she is walking to the restroom for now, I'm going to wait to leave until I see her back in her car. So, it's always hard to say goodbye to a friend when you don't know when you're going to see them again. It's a just like yesterday, I didn't want I knew it was time to go when the event was over and everything, but I just could not bring myself to leave until enough other people had left, and even then I still had to force myself to get in the truck and go. Everybody there yesterday was so wonderful. Yeah, she is one of the finest people out there. Yeah, I had no idea that all these years driving around in a semi truck, even before that, I never had any idea that there were the kind of people like she is and like every one of you are out here until I joined the convoy. I mean, yes, I grew up in a small farming community, but even then, there was so much division and hate amongst everybody, and most of that was division created by the churches themselves in our town. I never really saw the kind of caring and the kind of spirit out of people like I did when I joined up with the convoy and started meeting people like you and like Rosie. And right now it's extremely hard because I know that it may be the last time any of us see her out here putting up the fight for a long time because her mother now needs full-time care. gonna have to get some gas.
Or what's your agenda?
I'm gonna have to get some gas. But I was thinking I might be able to make it up, get my load, and then get it. How much have you got?
I think I got a little less than half a tank. How far is it to your load?
56 miles.
I can do that.
All right. Okay, she's gonna follow me for at least until I get to where I'm picking up my load, because that's also the same track she's driving, but she'll be in her car. So
Turn left on County Road 5280, then take the first left.
all right. I'm sorry, Italian princess. It can't be helped. None of us expected none of us expected her hospital, the hospital where her mom is at right now, to call and drop the information on us that they just did.
Turn left on Missouri 52, then take the first right. Turn right on US 54 East.
Give me a minute to get on the highway here.
Continue on US 54.
Sorry, I do have emotions. I do have emotions, contrary to popular belief. Really hard to deal with a lot of times, and I keep them bottled up. So if anybody has a good idea of something else we can talk about right now, that would be great. Yeah. On the other hand, it was really good seeing X-Ray out there yesterday. really good to see X-Ray and T and Trucker G. Trench was there. Bobo were there. Silly was there. That we knew. It was a great day, and I loved it. Third terms. So what is it that you don't know about what is it that you don't know about hashtag no more third terms, Princess? Could add to it? Because one thing that we do need to do, all of the staff, all of the staff, not just the politicians, but their staff, most of those people in those positions in the staff have been there bending the ears of the politicians and showing them all of the loopholes and getting the things done for them longer than most of those politicians have been in office. Because it's not just the politicians themselves that are the problem, it's the staff as well. So what do we do if we get all the politicians out and get new ones? All the people that sit there and work in those politicians are the ones that have been You're not prepared, but they all need to go. That is true. They do. Oh my. Today is going to be a very long day for me. I got to pick this load up. It's in Fulton, Missouri, and I think it's going all the way over to Salt Lake. It's either Salt Lake or Seattle. I don't remember which right now. But we'll get it there. Yes, Italian Princess, on the YouTube side, you are the only person there. There is someone else sitting there watching on the Twitch side, but I don't know who that is because they have not commented. And it would be nice to hear them comment, see something from them. That's okay. Maybe if you start sharing the link to my YouTube out to people, to this particular stream, maybe we can get more people back in here. There's another person just hopped in. But yesterday was a wonderful day, and all it really took was somebody deciding they wanted to put together some kind of barbecue. And then it turned into an event. And then it also turned into a convoy. Well, actually, it turned into practically 3 convoys, because a large group of the people that were there convoyed from southwestern Missouri area up to Rolla, Missouri, and then convoyed from Rolla, Missouri over into Jefferson, and then we convoyed around the Capitol building and through downtown, and then they convoyed back to the southwestern corner of Missouri. So all in all, it was a very, very productive Freedom Day. I just wish a lot more people had actually come out to attend. Because I know a lot of people that told me they were going to be there that did not come. And that saddens me, but I'm not going to call them out for who they are. Well, I see you now that you're commenting, Kylene. But for a while there, Italian Princess was the only one commenting. And up on my little reader thing, it was only showing one person in the YouTube feed. I think what it's doing is it's showing me the people that are currently commenting, not actually the people that are sitting there watching. Yep. Well, we all have jobs to do. And it's just not... it's not at a point where I can afford to... I can't even afford to stop running my truck right now. I can't. I have to keep going until it gets to a point where I can't even afford to run the truck. Almost at that point, but we will see what comes down. We will see what comes down here over the next couple months. I hate to say it, but I am a little tired. Being out in that heat all day yesterday and the day before, because I went and I took myself on a little tour of the downtown Jefferson City, Missouri area on my own, and you know, explored quite a few of the shops that are down there, and you know, I ate a breakfast down there, kind of around brunch or lunchtime, but it was nice. It was a bakery that's down there on Main Street. And then I had a little bit of supper out of what was it? There's a Thai restaurant right there on Main Street. They were pretty good. Hello, Cheryl. Yeah, it was. We had a good day yesterday. We had a good, productive day yesterday, and it was great seeing a large portion of us getting back together clear across the country in another spot to wave our flags, blow our air horns and train horns, and demand to be heard. You know, and to speak out. because it is time for all of us to stop being silent. It's long past time for all of us to stop being silent. I hear so many of the older generation, or people my age, and even some younger, that have the idea in their heads that there's nothing they can do. The politicians are just going to do what they're going to do, and we can't change that. Well, yes, we can. First of all, you need to change the way you think about the whole situation, because we are the ones that sign their paychecks. We are the reason they have a position in the first place. In other words, we're their boss. And it is time for everybody to stand up and say enough is enough. Do yourselves a favor and look up the Convention of States in your own states. Your state should have a Convention of States committee set up. Get in contact with them. Do some research on it. Sign their little petition and start calling your congressmen, your senators, your governors, every single politician you can think of at any level, even your city councils and even your school boards, and start demanding a push for the Convention of States. That's a start, but the other start that we can use is to stop voting for anybody that has had 2 or more terms. Hello, Slim, how are you? Yep. You're right. You're right, Italian. The big thing, though, is getting everybody else to wake up. And like I've said, the scary aspect of getting them to wake up is that they are going to have to feel an extreme amount of loss or pain in some way, shape, or form in order to wake up. But we're headed right for it. We're headed right into a depression. We're headed right into a complete economic crash, which is going to put a shortage to the point of non-accessibility on everything that a person needs. Your fuel, your electricity, your food, everything. People will start starving before they wake up. And that is a very scary idea, but that is what it will take to wake them up. And the problem is, we're headed right for it. Our economy is literally standing on the edge of the cliff right now. Yep. I mean, I don't know. So there's Cheryl. I don't know if you even know, but I put out over little over probably $2,600 out of my own pocket to come out of the Northwest and be there in Jefferson City for yesterday. And then I got into Missouri, and the starter on my truck went out, and I ended up spending the last bit of cash I had, completely the last bit of cash that I had, being spent on buying a new starter. So that is just one of the sacrifices that I make on a regular basis these days and to spread the message that everybody in this country needs to hear. And it's basically, and it's not just my message, it's your message too. It is the message of the people that are sitting here screaming at the government, demanding a change, demanding direction. At least in an economic point of way. You know, at least get us headed back in the right direction economically. I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, Italian princess, but it's a dry heat in Arizona, right? At least that's what everybody tells me. I don't care. I don't care if it's a dry heat or a humid heat. They both suck. I can't stand super high temperatures anymore. When I was younger, I could deal with it easily. But now that I'm older and now that I've lived with air conditioning for as long as I have on a daily basis, whether it be heating or cooling, I can't stand a temperature outside a certain range anymore. $4.99 for diesel. Yep. Wow. $5. $5 is $5. Doesn't matter if you call it 499.9. It's still $5. Yeah. Oh, if everybody that's in here could do a favor for the group and for me, there are an awful lot of people that were subscribed to me before my channel got stolen. I see chats, and when I'm talking to them, they're asking if I'm still live streaming. When I tell them yes, well, how come I don't see your videos up anywhere? Apparently, they can't find my new live stream, or they don't know what happened, or whatever. But in most of those live streams, I don't have the ability to just drop a link to my live stream. So if you can get out there on other people's live streams, when you see people that you might recognize in other chats, go ahead and let them know. You know, Black Wölf has a new live stream channel. And if you happen to be a moderator in that channel, go ahead and drop the link to my channel, because I'd like to start getting all those people back. So, what is the news from other places in the country today? What's going on in Arizona? Was Trump there yesterday morning? Because I caught a live feed this morning, and Trump was on stage, and I thought that he did that yesterday, not this morning. Well, Kylene, here's a problem with that. Lake Mead is being allowed to disappear on purpose. It's being done on from drought. California. In California, Nevada, they had record snowfalls all year long, all winter long. They had more snowfall in one day this year up on Donner Pass. More snowfall in one day than they have had in an entire year in the past. And what happened to all that water when the snow melted? Those mountains direct that water right down into the lakes, rivers, and streams that run right into Lake Mead. So where did all that water go? Yeah, we all kind of stay away from Freedom Ford. Freedom Ford has his own way of doing things, and as a person, I don't necessarily like that the way that person does those things, but they're still a human being, and they're still wanting the same thing that we want as far as for the future of this country goes. So I can't badmouth him, and I'm not going to. But he's just not somebody that. Well, look at that. There is the state capital of Missouri again. Yes, his heart is in the right place. I take issue with some of the ways that he deals with his fight for it, you know. And a lot of people take issue with it. The problem is that we can't discount him just simply because of that, because he's fighting on the same side we are. We can't discount anybody that is fighting on the same side. Unless they're more like a subhuman. Human, I mean more of the people that seem to don't see age as a problem. We're not going to mention the words here. Don't want to get censored by. There we go. Fulton. That's where I'm going. I got to go to Fulton, Missouri and pick up a load. Yay. Hello. Is that Sun Honey? How you doing? Well, hello, Lisa. Why did you race around me to slow me down? I can honk for freedom. You know, somebody came up to me after we went around the Capitol yesterday and told me that that my train horns were louder than everybody else's horns. I don't know about that. I don't know. Here, when I hit my air horns, is my own train horns. So I don't know. But he said, well, you know, I'm hitting my air horn and all I can hear is your air horn. Okay. So, yeah, that was interesting. Being told that my horns were louder than everybody else's. And of course, back there, I blew the horn because we were crossing the bridge headed away from the state capitol building just a few minutes ago. when we first were getting on that bridge, the Capitol building was off to the left. No, it was off. Yeah, that's right. It was off to the right. It would have been off to my right. I know you couldn't see it because we're going away from it and it was far enough off to the right, but you did see it when we first crested the hill coming into town there. I blew the horn as kind of a more of a goodbye for now. We'll be back. I'd like to see, you know, what we did yesterday, going around that Capitol building, circling it 7 times with the air horns and train horns and everything, little car horns going, motorcycle horns, all of that. I would love to see every state capitol have that happening every weekend. Because that's really what it's going to start having to take. People have got to get out there. And it doesn't have to just be your state capitol. You can do the same thing driving circles around your town hall, or your city council, or your county seat building, your county buildings, even your school board buildings. Oh, I got 17 miles till I get to where I'm going. 14 miles till we get to the town of Fulton, or at least to get off of the highway to get into Fulton. Fulton, Missouri. And if anybody is worried about my little Sid Vicious dog, yes, on Friday he had a heat stroke, but he's doing just fine. Saturday morning he was up and perky and trying to run around like a little puppy. So he recovered pretty good. But it still hurt. I'll tell you what, I thought I was losing my dog. State Trooper man, stay right where you are, please. Do not come out here. And it's raining a little bit. We could have used this weekend. Because it says it's 78 degrees out now, instead of 104, 105, 106 like it was this weekend. Well, sounds like you need to take a road trip to the capital of your own state there, Princess. Yep. You work too much. You should always be able to find time. Treat it like a vacation. Say you got a weekend coming up where you've got 2 days off in a row or whatever, where you've got absolutely nothing to do. Take off and go enjoy your state capital. Tour the city around the state capital, and go around your state capital just to see it, just to be there. And I encourage you to do it, especially if you're dressed like a patriotic freedom fighter and you're carrying your flag with you. All right. Well, that's right. I'm not wrong. I believe that everybody should at least have one day walking around their capital of their own state. Everybody. And if you have children, definitely take them to see it. And give them a little history lesson about it. Because just when I walked around on Saturday downtown right next to the Capitol building, I learned a lot more about the history of Missouri and the history of that Capitol building just in walking around the downtown area than I ever learned in any book or on any website. Like in 1911, February 6th, 1911, the state capital of Missouri burned to the ground and had to be rebuilt. Didn't learn that in any history book. Most of the buildings along Main Street downtown are the same buildings that were put up when the town was founded. And I do believe it was founded in 1821. 1821 is when the town of Jefferson City, Missouri was founded. And did you know almost everybody in Missouri, or everybody that's from Missouri, doesn't call it Jefferson City. They just call it Jeff City. They shorten it to Jeff. So if you hear people talking about Jeff City, then now you know they're talking about Jefferson City, which is the state capital of Missouri. Ah, you learned it from the G's. Nice. Let me go, let me go, let me go. So, can anybody tell me what is wrong with that black car in the left lane, or the black SUV in the left lane? What's wrong with it? From a legal standpoint. We're almost there. Yeah, no license plate showing. It's actually required that you have a license plate on the back of the vehicle in every single state. Some states require front and back, but the one on the back is the one that is required in all states, period. And it must be clear and readable and have a light that lights it up at night. It must be 100% visible at all times. Yet everybody out here seems to think now it's okay that we can just cover it up with something else where it's not visible. How do we know that that even has a license plate on it? We don't. And I see a lot of vehicles running around the entire country. I see a lot of vehicles these days that don't even have plates at all, let alone a temporary tag in the window. And nobody's pulling them over for it.
Take the exit on the right to Missouri H, then take the first right. Turn right at the stop sign.
Yeah, but you can't use sovereign citizen. Sovereign citizen does not work. Because there is no legal clause anywhere that allows you to use a sovereign citizen excuse for not having plates on your vehicle. Being said, there's nothing in the Constitution that gives them the right to regulate you that way. So, anymore, I should turn my but 419 for gas. Too bad they do not have diesel. Where am I going? At the roundabout, take the first exit up ahead. Okay. Erky dirky. It's always fun driving through some small towns, right? You see the different architecture, the way people have decorated their yards, type of vehicles they're using, type of clothes they're wearing, the type of people that they are. And you can get a feel for just by driving through, you can kind of get a feel for the type of people that live in that little town, you know?
At the roundabout, take the first exit to East 2nd Street.
There's always one. Always one.
In 1/4 mile, turn left on Oak Street, then take the first right.
Addison, and then Oak.
Turn left on Oak Street, then take the first right. Turn right on East 3rd Street.
I'm gonna have to go up and around. Guess they're on the other side of this. They're on the other street, even though their address is on this back side of the building.
Turn right on East 5th Street,
That's so
then take the
stupid.
first right.
I don't know why places do that.
Turn right on State Street, then take the first right.
Okay. Now let's go this way. Now we'll be able to find this place. Right here. Down this street. More rain. Probably knocked it off of that tree. Yes, I had to kind of hit the tree to make the corner. And it appears I was right. Their front side is over here, not back on the other end.
Turn right on East 2nd Street, then take the first right.
Okay, he's just picking that sign up. All right. That is perfectly fine.
right on Oak Street, then take the first right.
All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. I have to use my phone to check in this place, so I'll lose the signal in the first place when I do that. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to go back live again after I get loaded and get out of town, all right? We'll see you soon.